The people who had to pay their taxes going to have to pay the pension funds so that the public employees would make all this money. Trouble is, there isn't any money out there. Here in California, we've got $100 billion in pension obligations, and we're never going to be able to pay it off. California is bankrupt, and we're got another $20 billion shortfall this year, and probably twice that much again next year. And one of these days, they're just going to have to say, sorry. Why, of course, you use the system, you played the system, and now the system is broken, and there's no way to fix it. And so I think Bob's right. A lot of people are not going to get their pensions they're counting on. What would you agree with that, Bob?
Absolutely, and it's a tragedy, but, I've been telling people this, as you have, for years, that there was going to be a day of reckoning, and the day of reckoning is not too far off. I'll give it 3 years maximum, and probably more like 1 to 2. I mean, it's going to be a shocker, and it's not only going to affect pensioners in America, the financial system in America, it's going to affect the whole world. Everybody else is going to have the same problem. I think the countries that have not, as countries or as individuals or corporations, overextended themselves as far as credit is concerned, they'll do reasonably well. And I don't think most Americans realize that in real estate, most countries in the world either only allow people to borrow 50 or 60% of the amount of the house that they're buying. And throughout Latin America, everybody pays cash for all intents and purposes. And so, with that said, countries that have people who bought homes for cash, they're not going to have as many problems as a country like America or England or Spain or Ireland and even Canada to a certain extent. And so these are things that Americans don't know about because, quite frankly, Americans don't know much about what goes on outside their own country. They've tended to be very provincial because of their success. Perhaps you might call it over the last 100 or 150 years. And so there hasn't been a need to. But people should wake up and see what has happened and is happening in other parts of the world, and they'll get a good lesson. I mean, these people who own $300,000 homes that are now worth $150,000 and they owe $180,000, they're all going to walk away. There's no question. I mean,
a third of the people in the United States who have mortgages are underwater. Their houses are worth less than they owe their mortgage on them. And I think you haven't seen anything yet. Anything else you wanted to say there, Frank?
Yes, there is.
Bruce, before I let you go.
Yes, there is. Bob, I'm coming into a bit of a little inheritance, and obviously the broker is trying to steer me to his IRA funds, et cetera, and like that. And I had to firmly say no several times, and I just said I wanted a cash out of the inheritance. Now, I don't believe our stock market's going to hit anywhere but, just either stagnation or downwards. Now, do you suggest that most of this be put into the metals?
I would recommend a combination of coins making up probably 40% of a portfolio.
Are you numismatic?
Well, I would put, let's say you had $100,000 hypothetically to get a round number, and you would spend $40,000. Of the $40,000, I would say $8,000, which is about 20%, would be used in junk silver, and then that would leave you 32,000, and then I would spend perhaps 7,000 in gold bullion coins of different denominations, and then the other 25,000 I would spend on graded mint state numismatic coins. The other money I would put into Agnico Eagle Gold Corp, Silver Standard, and Mine Finders. All producing.
Repeat that last one again.
Mine Finders. Symbol's MFN. And it trades on the American. And those 4 stocks I consider blue chips. And I've been doing this for 50 years. And I was the largest gold silver stockbroker in the world for 28 years. And I own my own firm at that. And so that's what I would do with that money.
It's part of one of those family tragedies where the broker can drag down the family fortune from a large fortune to a small fortune, and then a sole sole power of attorney won't allow it to go anywhere else.
Well, if I were...
Well, you know, that's interesting. I'm seeing a lot of people who, in their wills, have said the recipient has to receive an annuity, which to me is suicidal.
Especially in times when the dollar is backed by nothing. I get out of dollars. Anyway, we're going to have to...
Well, that's what I plan to do. I firmly refuse the broker's advice.
Okay, hold on. Okay, anything else you wanted to say, Bruce, before we let you go?
I appreciate your allowing me to talk to Bob. He is a great guest to have on.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy him, and we just keep trying to, as long as he'll stay on with us, we'll keep him here. Thanks very much.
I'd like to have the gentleman from the Spiritual Counterfeits Project on your show soon, too.
All right, we'll see if we can get him on.
Well, I'll rattle their cage myself and see if I can line it up for you.
All right, fine. Appreciate that. He does a great job. Our
All
telephone number is 1-888-24-LIBERTY, 1-888-24-LIBERTY. Anybody's out there. But, Bob, you've got about a minute and a half to wrap up the program.
Well, I think the gentleman's question is universal today, and I get many of them every day. And for all of you people who want free advice, we don't charge for anything. All we do is ask you to subscribe so you can keep yourself informed, and we can help you be informed. All you have to do is email bob@intforecaster.com. That's bob@intforecaster.com. And we can supply low commission, experienced brokers, both in coins as well as in shares, who will do well by you, and so we can keep you out of harm's way.
Well, I think that if you're going to be out there buying gold coins, you've got to be very, very careful. If you're going to get these mint coins, certainly you need somebody that you can trust. Now, got to be honest with you and get a officially graded one. Who does the grading on those coins, Bob?
Oh, there's 4 firms that do it, and they say the names so fast that I never can remember. It's like VG, NGVG, or, they have all these symbols. And I guess there's 2 prominent ones, and one of those 2 that's more prominent than the others. But, the dealer that we can send you to, or dealers we can send you to, they will give you a good shake, and they'll also give you good delivery, good prices, and they'll tell you what to buy. And I think that's very, very important. And because I don't know, Dr. Stan doesn't know, and neither do most people on the street.
Hey, Bob, we're out of time. I'm going to have to thank you very much for being with us. We will look forward to having Bob Chapman back next Monday evening. Good night. God bless.
Good night. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening.